Yeah. You said one thing about the in-between moments. I'm going to do a thing, and I've been working on it practically for years now. What happens, when they fade out on a scene in movies, and then they fade up in the morning? All they show you is a big ashtray full of cigarettes,
Yeah.
That's all they show you. But let's see.
And a rumpled tie.
That's right. Or a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
But I would like to show these moments, the in-between moments, of what happens between, They just fade out, The guy is, they just give him the message. The dog was run over. Your son is up on, is locked up or this or that. And then this night has to pass, where nothing can be done, and the night has to pass.
I'm thinking of something that's a little more fun than what you're thinking about. I don't quite understand what you mean.
The time that elapses.
Yeah.
In between.
Generally speaking.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, it's hygienically cut out.
Yeah.
And it's not. They don't show you this. This is what you don't have to go through. But in life, you do have to go through it.
I think that American audiences aren't really up to waiting. They don't care. I don't think that American audiences really have, developed a level of sophistication whereby they can appreciate it.
Oh, I think they have.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Well, but then how do you explain the fact that most foreign films don't go here? And if they make a foreign film, for instance, a film that really is, for instance, in a French film, it shows a picture of a guy getting up in the morning, he yawns, he brushes his teeth, he looks in the mirror for half an hour, stares at his nose, and picks his scalp, then stares at the drain and turns around and goes out and sits down and you watch him eat a breakfast and fish some of the seeds out of the orange juice, or roll the bread up into little balls and throw it out the window, and then they take him downstairs to the office, and they follow him through the door and downstairs and in the taxi and in the other door. And Americans have just simply, cut right along.
Look, we have the most
that's what I was saying.
movie star in America today. Excuse me, Marlon Brando.
I'm going to give it a phone.
Marilyn Monroe, sitting there listening to you two, Sid Caesar and Marlon listening, and I have a feeling that she has something she can add about all this. Or were you able to hear their very serious
Hello,
conversation?
Jane. Yes, a very interesting conversation. I enjoyed the picture immensely. And I think her performance was marvelous.
You've been working at the Actors Studio now as an actress, actually, Marilyn, or are you still an observer there?
I'm an observer student at the Actors Studio.
She's an actress.
All right, that's
And
Marlon.
besides that, she's late tonight.
She was late. What?
She was late. She was supposed to be in our show, and she only served one person.
The traffic was terrible.
Huh?
The
She was
traffic.
there, but I'll grant you that.
Marilyn, I've heard from Marlon and from other people who have worked at the Actors Studio that it's awfully good to keep acting, to keep performing and learning, and that at the Actors Studio, under Lee Strasberg's direction, you have a chance to play and develop maybe a role that you'd never have a chance to do on screen or on stage. Is there any one part that you're working on there?
Let's see. Yes, I'm going to do a scene with Maureen Stapleton shortly, who played, in a rose tattoo on stage.
On Broadway, yes.
What are you going to do?
We're doing Noel Coward's Fallen Angel.
Fallen Angel?
Yes.
I don't know
second
that
act.
play.
Are these the sort of things that you would like eventually to do on stage or on screen, or are you just doing it to develop as an actress, Marilyn?
Yes.
What? Huh?
What do you like, man? I'm listening to people.
So Marlon explained on the air last week that you were taking it very seriously and that you were really working at it.
Yes, I am working with Lee Strasberg, also in his private classes.
She's working hard at it. It's hard to, kind of say, I'm working hard at it, and I'm really...
Well, I'd like to know what she does. What do you do at the Actors Studio? I've never been there. I've just heard about it. Do you go every day? Do you go regularly, or do you work on a part alone and then
The
go?
Actors Studio, I go twice a week, and to Lee's classes, the class that I participate in, I go twice a week also, and I also go to his other classes to observe.
You do improvisation, don't you? That's what we worked on when we went to.
Yes.
When we were in class. What improvisation have you done?
I did James Joyce's Ulysses, part of Molly Bloom.
You improvised that?
Yes.
On the way, you improvised James Joyce. That's a new point, but no, but I mean, frequently have you get up and do little things, and doesn't Lee have you get up and do improvisations that you create yourself?
Well,
like you got your foot caught in a subway grating, and somebody comes up and says, "Can I help you?" And you're hurrying to the dentist, and your faulty platter out, and Don't you do those things up there?
Mostly I've been doing acting exercises on the stage, which I won't go into.
You mean scenes?
And also exercises. I don't mean lifting weights or something.
Have you done the one where you're in a barnyard?
No, I haven't done that one yet.
Huh? Did you do any animal improvisation?
Yes, I'm working on a cat.
You are?
Yes.
I'm working on a tree.
Wait a minute.
I haven't made it yet, but I think
Marlon,
it's an elm.
explain what that is when the one about the barnyard. What is that? Is
I
that
never
really?
understood it. They said you're a chicken and horse declared, and then left me alone.
And you have to improvise from there?
Your guess is as good as mine. No, actually, I don't know.
What is the method that I've read about and heard about that has to do with the technique at the Actors Studio? What is the method that they talk about?
Well, that's what 50 million actors would like to know, too.
Yeah.
That's an age-old argument, and you could spend 12 hours in Walgreens drugstore arguing about that. Stanislavski wrote several long tomes on the subject. Did you hear me say toems instead of tomes? Anyhow, it would really be, I think that, it's impossible to really be. Well, listen, Marilyn, get your licks in here, girl. You tell us, Marilyn.
Yes, you explain the method. What is it? Is it a different type of acting? Is it a different technique?
Well, I think it started with Stanislavski, but many people have added to it,
And subtracted from
Well,
it.
Boleslavsky was a very good bowler. He was a tremendous actor in bowling, but he used to watch the pins go down. And as the pins go down, he would, tell people, form a formation of pins. Then he would roll the ball, and then he would fall down as a pin.
I'm with you.
And once you get past the pin stage, that's when acting is just what you are, It just comes out. That's what it is. And nobody can, I believe in teaching and things like that, but it mostly has to come from the individual itself.
Marilyn, had you ever studied acting before going to the Actors Studio?
yes, but not in this way.
Just acting on a part that you were going to do on screen, you mean?
Yes, but
Mom, the
Completely
first time,
different.
No.
no, go ahead.
The first time I ever saw Mom, I was in the Coast Guard. I went to see a
what?
play. I was in the Coast Guard.
Oh.
And I bought tickets to see a play called I Remember Mama.
I remember Mumble.
I Remember Mama.
Oh.
And you played the part of a little Swedish boy, and I thought it was just so great. And I wasn't in the acting business, and I was a musician. But I wasn't a musician in the Coast Guard.
What did you play?
I played saxophone, clarinet, flute, played with Claude Thornhill, Sheffield. What was the trumpet player? Charlie Spivak.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I played since I was 15.
Have you ever seen
Okay.
Sid Caesar's impersonation of, not you, Marlon, but Stanley Kowalski in A Streetcar Named Desire? He's done that on television a couple of times,
Well,
And I roared with laughter. I thought, as a matter of fact, I saw Max showed it to me one day. I went out to the office, and
Well,
he put it on.
I tell you, they wanted me to do an impression of Marlon several times, which I would never do, because I respect him as I think one of the greatest young actors.
But it's a
Come
big
on.
boot.
No, but I'll only do it, if it's the right thing, not just to do it just for that,
No,
We had an idea once, which I was going to call, Marilyn, you look so beautiful.
You're so nice.
Thank you. But we were going to do a French version On the waterfront. A short one, you know, about 10 minutes long. A French Marlon Brando, which would have been great. And I watched it. We didn't do it yet. I don't know if we'll do it or not.
Listen, did you ever think of playing a series part, a straight part?
Well, I've talked a lot about it, but I'm not an actor. I'm
No, listen, I think that it is because you are an actor that you are as good as you are. Because I think that all your performances really have a basis in reality. I think go ahead.
You have to. I mean, even in comedy, I mean, which is not ridiculous, which doesn't sound ridiculous, because even in comedy, people know if you believe in what you're doing. And as soon as they sense bang like that, they don't believe anymore, you can stand on your head with your eyes folded and your nose crossed, and you'll not get a laugh. Mm-hmm. But if they believe that you believe in what you're doing, no matter how silly it is, if it's a half-truth, even if it's a half-truth, if they know that you believe it, they'll respect your belief in it, and they'll go along with you. But once they sense it, there's a sense between an audience and a performer, that once that feeling, that rapport, that I can't explain it, but once they find out, it's like an animal almost. An animal knows when you're afraid of them, and an animal knows when you're not afraid of them. But as soon as they feel it, and the audience is not with you anymore, and there's nothing you can do to get them back. But as long as they believe that you believe in what you're doing, they'll give you the respect and watch you, and they'll go along with you. Then it's up to you how good you are.
Sid Caesar, Marlon Brando, and Marilyn Monroe. Wait 1 minute. Let them go. Just 1 second. Goodbye, Marlon. Thank you very much. And Sid, goodbye. Marilyn, before they whisk you away from here, have you decided, are you going to make Bus Stop on screen?
Well, when and if it's worked out, I would like to. But that depends.
And what about doing a play? I've read that you really are serious about doing a play on Broadway. Are you thinking about that? Is that often in the distant future, or is it something you'd like to do very soon?
Well, it's most certainly in the distant future, but I would like to. One time I hope to be able to.
Do you know who this is right over there? Have you ever met Miss Helen Hayes?
Yes.
The first lady of the American theater.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, dear. We met the other day at the Actors Studio, didn't we?
That's right.
We're both observers.
Well, you can observe this lady and learn, I suppose, everything there is to know about the theater, who this year is celebrating her 50th anniversary, believe it or not, on the stage. With a great, great party, the first night ball at the Waldorf in the Grand Ballroom of the night of December 30th. Thank you very much, Marilyn. Nice to see you again here at the Actors Studio benefit. We'll see you inside later.
Nice to see you.
Tex, I don't know what's happening. There are photographers all around, and I can't see a clock. What is the schedule? All right, why don't you sit down at the mic now for a moment, would you? Okay? We've had great activity here for the last 45 minutes, as you may have heard, and I never had as many people helping interview guests as we had when Sid Caesar and Marlon Brando and Tennessee Williams and Marilyn Monroe were sort of asking questions of each other, which was fun. But I couldn't see a clock, so Tex, you help me get organized, will you?